them back by changing our brand.
All right, and I do see you're in our database, but you didn't first get help at this Cumhammer location?
No, my wife went to one in California as a child.
Ah, okay, then you must be in the national system. Oh yeah, is this you? Sorority girl, actress, influencer, victim.
Yeah, that's totally me.
Okay, I see, and then you added your husband to your friends and family account. You must be the Royal Prince Millionaire World Traveler victim.
But
Okay.
trying to make ourselves into a brand just turned us into products. We don't need to be a brand, do we? If it's truly what we want, then we really can get away from it all. No more magazines and Netflix shows. We really can live a normal life. Yes, I'm sure you agree, darling. We can be the people we talked about being, with no more worries about how we look or the image we project to people. What matters is what we have on the inside.
Meghan Markle is now suing South Park. You know what? At this point, nothing surprises me anymore. We're living in a world where a former royal is allegedly taking on cartoon characters who've been roasting celebrities since before TikTok existed. But here's where it gets really interesting. They say she's furious about being portrayed as the Princess of Canada in their Worldwide Privacy Tour episode. And honestly, can you blame her? I mean, Canada? That's like being called the Queen of Nice Weather in Seattle. Technically possible, but deeply insulting. But wait, there's more to this story that'll make your head spin.
Hey.
Did you know it's cold in there?
Yeah.
Must be an American thing.
It's not.
But wait, watch this. Amazing, right? This might be the smallest palace I've ever been in.
An apartment, so.
Yes, an apartment palace, I know that.
The woman who gave up her royal title is now reportedly suing cartoon creators for making fun of her royal status. It's like quitting your job at McDonald's and then getting mad when someone makes jokes about your burger flipping skills. But the real kicker is what she's actually claiming in this alleged lawsuit. According to sources, she's arguing that South Park damaged her brand value and public image. Hold up, your brand value? Ma'am, your brand value took a nosedive faster than my credit score after Black Friday shopping. We're talking about someone who went from Hollywood actress to royal to, well, whatever this current phase is supposed to be.
Surprisingly, Paramount recently agreed to create a parody version of the Meghan Markle viral video where one segment of the DEI special is going to serve as a spin-off of the Respect Our Privacy bit.
But here's what really gets me about this whole situation. She's gone after British tabloids, American media outlets, and now apparently animated shows. At this rate, she's going to sue the weather forecast for not predicting sunny days during her public appearances. But you know what the funniest part is? The South Park creators are probably thrilled about this. Trey Parker and Matt Stone have been getting sued by celebrities for decades. They've taken on everyone from Tom Cruise to Scientology to literal religious figures, and now they get to add a former royal to their resume. It's like collecting Pokemon cards, but instead of Charizard, you're collecting court documents. But here's where this gets absolutely ridiculous. The episode she's allegedly suing over literally predicted this exact reaction. In the episode, the Princess of Canada character goes on worldwide tours complaining about privacy while simultaneously seeking publicity.
Look at this town. There's just something about it. Oh, darling, I think this might be the place. You really think so? We can have a fresh start here. Can we? Can we really move here and finally have our own privacy? My love, I will do anything for your privacy. So you hate journalists. That's right. And now you wrote a book that reports on the lives of the royal family. So you're a journalist.
And now, by suing them, she's basically proven their point better than any comedy writer ever could. It's like complaining about people calling you dramatic while throwing a dramatic fit about being called dramatic, but wait, it gets even better. She's reportedly seeking millions in damages for emotional distress caused by being portrayed as someone who seeks attention while complaining about getting attention. The irony is so thick, you could cut it with a butter knife and serve it at one of her fancy Le Creuset cooking shows.
Isn't it true, sir, that your questionable wife has her own TV show and hangs out with celebrities and does fashion magazines? What are you suggesting? We want privacy! We want privacy! Hey, thanks for having us on the show. It's so awesome to be here. It's great.
Speaking of which, that's another controversy entirely, but let's stay focused on this legal masterpiece. The same person who did a tell-all interview with Oprah, launched a Netflix documentary series, wrote a memoir, well, Harry did, but you know, and started multiple public ventures is now claiming that a cartoon hurt her feelings. It's like a rock star complaining about noise pollution. But here's what makes this even more entertaining. South Park has a legendary track record with celebrity lawsuits. Remember when they got sued by the Church of Scientology? They responded by making more episodes about Scientology. When they got threatened by various celebrities, they doubled down and made it worse for those celebrities. So what do you think they're going to do now that they've allegedly got a former royal coming after them? I can already picture the writer's room at South Park headquarters. They're probably popping champagne and planning a whole season arc about a princess who sues cartoon shows. They'll probably create a character who goes around suing everyone, animated shows, weather forecasters, people who don't wave back at her. The material is writing itself at this point, but here's the real tragedy in all of this. This alleged lawsuit represents everything wrong with celebrity culture today. Instead of laughing at yourself and moving on, we've created a world where grown adults sue cartoon characters for making jokes. It's like getting mad at a mirror for showing you what you look like. But the most ironic part is still coming. By allegedly filing this lawsuit, she's given South Park enough material for the next 5 seasons. They could literally make an entire episode about someone suing South Park for making episodes about them. It's like infinite comedy recursion, a lawsuit about a cartoon, about someone who would sue cartoons about suing cartoons. But here's what really bothers me about this whole situation. We're living in times where people are struggling with real problems, inflation, housing costs, actually important stuff. And meanwhile, we've got someone with enough money to make most people dizzy, allegedly suing cartoon creators because they drew her with a slightly different nose. The priorities are more backwards than a NASCAR driver in reverse gear. But it gets even more absurd. She's allegedly claiming that the South Park episode caused irreparable harm to her reputation. Irreparable harm? Ma'am, your reputation has been through more changes than a teenager's relationship status on Facebook. We've seen it go from actress to royal to humanitarian to podcast host to Netflix producer to lifestyle brand owner to cartoon lawsuit filer. At this point, her reputation is more flexible than a yoga instructor on Red Bull. The beautiful thing about this alleged lawsuit is that it's going to make everyone go back and watch the South Park episode again. It's like filing a lawsuit against someone for calling you loud and then proving their point by screaming about it in court. The Streisand effect is working overtime on this one, but here's the part that really makes me laugh. South Park has made fun of literally everyone. They've roasted presidents, pop stars, religious leaders, tech billionaires, and cartoon characters from other shows. Getting made fun of by South Park used to be like a badge of honor. It meant you were culturally relevant enough to parody, but apparently now it's grounds for legal action? What's next? Suing Saturday Night Live for impression accuracy. The legal precedent this could set is terrifying. If comedians can get sued for making jokes about public figures, we're basically one step away from outlawing sarcasm altogether. Can you imagine living in a world where you can't make jokes about celebrities? That's basically what totalitarian regimes do, ban criticism and comedy. But here's the plot twist nobody saw coming. Some legal experts are saying this alleged lawsuit could actually backfire spectacularly. See, when you sue someone for parody and satire, you have to prove that the comedy caused actual, measurable damage. But how do you measure damage to someone whose public image changes more frequently than gas prices? It's like trying to measure the exact temperature of chaos. Plus, South Park falls under parody protection laws. It's literally comedy-protected speech. Suing them for making jokes is like suing a restaurant for serving food. It's their entire business model. But the real kicker is what this means for her future projects. Every single thing she does now is going to be viewed through the lens of, remember when she allegedly sued South Park? It's going to follow her around like that embarrassing photo from high school that somehow makes it into every yearbook. Her future business meetings are going to start with "so" about that cartoon lawsuit. But here's what I find most fascinating about this whole mess. The timing couldn't be more perfect for South Park. They're about to get massive free publicity from this alleged lawsuit, which means more viewers, which means more advertising revenue, which means they're essentially getting paid to be sued by someone for making fun of them. It's like getting a bonus for doing your job too well. Meanwhile, she's allegedly paying lawyers to help South Park's ratings. And let's talk about the legal team that allegedly took this case. Some lawyer out there looked at this situation and thought, yes, this is exactly the kind of case that will advance my career, suing cartoon creators on behalf of someone upset about being cartoonized. That's either the most confident lawyer in the world or someone who really needs the billable hours. The discovery phase of this alleged lawsuit is going to be absolutely hilarious. Can you imagine the depositions? Your Honor, we'd like to submit into evidence this drawing of our client with exaggerated facial features. The judge is probably going to need therapy after presiding over arguments about cartoon accuracy. But here's where this gets really meta. If South Park makes an episode about being sued for their original episode, and then she sues them for that episode too, we could end up with an infinite loop of lawsuits about episodes, about lawsuits, about episodes. It's like legal inception. A lawsuit within a lawsuit within a lawsuit. Future law students are going to study this case and wonder what happened to society. The precedent this could set for comedy is genuinely concerning, though. If public figures can successfully sue comedians for making jokes, we're basically establishing a world where your feelings can override free speech. That's not just problematic, that's democracy threateningly dangerous. But knowing South Park's history, they're probably not too worried. These guys have been dealing with outraged celebrities longer than most people have been on social media. They've faced death threats, international incidents, and corporate boycotts. An allegedly upset former royal is probably just Tuesday for them. They're probably already working on the episode about being sued, and that episode is going to be more brutal than the original. The real victims in all of this are going to be the other celebrities who get made fun of by South Park in the future. Now, instead of just rolling with the jokes like normal people, they're going to think, well, if she can sue them, maybe I can too. We're potentially looking at a future where every South Park episode comes with a side of legal paperwork. But here's the thing that really gets me about this alleged lawsuit. It shows a fundamental misunderstanding of how comedy works. Comedy is supposed to make us uncomfortable sometimes. It's supposed to point out the ridiculous aspects of public life. When you put yourself in the public eye, you're essentially volunteering to be material for comedians. That's not cruel. That's just how it works. The fact that she's allegedly taking legal action against cartoon characters says more about her sense of humor than it does about South Park's comedy. And honestly, having no sense of humor about yourself is way more damaging to your public image than any cartoon could ever be. People can forgive a lot of things, but they struggle to forgive someone who can't laugh at themselves. At the end of the day, this alleged lawsuit is going to be remembered as one of the most perfectly self-defeating legal strategies in modern history. It's like trying to prove you're not dramatic by having a dramatic meltdown in court. The irony is so perfect that if South Park had written it as fiction, people would have said it was too unrealistic. So, there you have it. The woman who wanted privacy is allegedly suing for public attention. The person who claims to be relatable is taking legal action against cartoon characters. And the individual who speaks about compassion is trying to silence comedians. If that's not comedy gold, I don't know what is. And the best part? South Park is probably already working on their response episode as we speak. This whole situation is going to go down in history as the moment when celebrity culture officially jumped the shark, landed on a motorcycle, and then sued the shark for emotional distress. Welcome to 2025, folks, where cartoon characters get served legal papers and everyone's somehow surprised by the irony.